Good morning, traders. Today is September the 10th. My name is Neville Hornsey, market analyst with YouTrading, and today I'll be talking about the British pound. Now, as always, I like to start with the YouTrading.com Forex heat map. And if we just take a look at the sort of composition of the map, it's heavily green towards the bottom left-hand corner, red towards the top right. So for me, this is a risk on day. Traders are moving into the sort of higher yielding commodity assets and away from the safe haven. So across the board, the yen is currently the weakest relative to everything else, and the strongest would be the New Zealand dollar. The British pound itself is mixed. It's like 50-50, but it is stronger against the safe havens. So I'm looking for longs in the British pound today, just based on that relative strength. And the British pound versus US dollar seems to be the cleanest chart. I'll go to this morning's Office of National Statistics report on the July GDP estimate. Basically, we missed expectations by a little bit, but down here we said GDP estimates for July are subject to more uncertainty than usual as a result of the challenges we faced estimating GDP in the current conditions, which basically alludes to it's really hard to find out what's going on because of COVID, and in the future this will be revised. But if we just look at the chart, obviously what you want is a stronger economy, a larger economy, and that's bullish for your currency. And if you think about the world's largest economy, that's the United States, closely followed by China. And they battle it out for the strongest currency pair. So this chart here shows the pandemic lows. GDP for the UK just dropped, as low as you can imagine it could. And that is reflected on the weekly chart in the British pound versus US dollar. Obviously, we had this big dip down, even below the Brexit 2016 lows, and then we've just rallied higher. Looking at the sort of the moving averages, that's my momentum indicator, along with this actual oscillator down here. Momentum in the 200 is starting to pick up on the weekly. The 50 is kind of pointing up about 30 degrees, and the 20 is going sideways. And if we go to the daily, that 200 period moving average is flat. The 50 in green has been pointing down, but is now sort of starting to curl around. The 20 is below, so short-term momentum is to the downside. You can see in price action, that follows that way. We did take out the lows here, this double bottom. So we swept these lows here at the 20th of July. And then it had been lower lows, lower highs, so downtrend. But then we had this, big impulsive move to the upside. So change in trend, got a swing high here, took out this swing high here. So the fact that they did a really deep retracement into this blue box shows that these guys here, so they were defending this level heavily, and they're still there. And that's why we saw this drop base rally and then consolidation period before another impulsive move. And then this week, we had a drop down into that consolidation period, the green box, the 200 EMA, and all of these sort of shorter time frame moving averages held as support. And then we've had an impulsive move. I think we're going to accelerate above this swing high here at 1.389, which then leads us up to the 1.398. So I'm thinking this is going to be a corrective move higher. These green candles are definitely more impulsive. But if you look back to the sort of start of the year, we've just gone sideways all year. So, if we're buying the dips of this channel, then, we're looking to take out the double top here. And if we pull back, this could be a distribution channel, which means, we're going to come down and test these lows. But with GDP, rising, as long as GDP sort of steadily grows, then I think the British pound does. And this could be a big bull flag. So the base of the pole for the flag, September 2020, could be a measured move higher once we break out of this period of sideways movement. So at the moment, I'm looking for longs. I'm looking to take out the 1.389, looking to target 1.398. And if we go to the hourly, you can see here the momentum oscillators above the signal line. The 20, the 50, and the 200 are all pointing higher. Currently, we're finding some supply come in from this. So what I like to do is find the swing high. And if swing high would be like the last green candle. So these are the buyers that were like trapped in before they slammed the door shut, just remove the bid. And that's when we've got this big move down. So if there's any sellers still there, then this is the time they're going to come in. And if we look to the actual wave count, we've got like a move up 1, 2, big impulsive 3, sideways 4, and this is the 5th wave. So, if we do get a pullback, bottom to top, if there are sellers here, then I'm waiting for a pullback. 61.8 or 50% coming with the hourly 200 EMA. 61.8% is this swing high here before this big impulsive move. 50% would be this little balance area. So I'm looking for some sort of confluence where moving averages, Fibonacci retracements, market structure all come together. So we've got this area here and this area here. And I can just try and remove this just to clean it up. So assuming there's some resistance here intraday, wait for a pullback to one of these zones, wait for some sort of bullish engulfing candle, hammer, whatever it is that sort of signifies a change in trend, and then go higher. Or assuming that momentum just absolutely picks up, wait for a breakout, then a retest before the continuation higher. So I can put an arrow there. I mean, that would be a good trade as well. Because I said, like, the main bulk of the support came in at this green box down here on the daily. So we know that there's a lot of support here, a lot of buyers, momentum starting to pick up like from this morning onwards. And yeah, I'm just looking to see if that momentum can continue, to see if we can get up to this sort of red line here, which, as I said, was the previous major swing high, the most important swing high on this chart at the moment for me. Obviously, the closer we get to that, the more likely these guys puke their sort of short positions. That if they're going to get stopped out, they might as well get stopped out a bit earlier, and then we get this acceleration higher. And if that happens, then I'm not waiting for like a move up above, again, consolidate back down, test that old resistance for support, and then larger move higher. So that's what I'm looking for based on this potential weekly bull flag. Looking to see if we can take out the swing highs from 2017 before moving higher into the sort of monthly 200 period moving average. Chances are we're going to compress underneath this 200 for a long time. So I'm not expecting, like several hundred points move higher. But on an hourly, I think there's definitely opportunities to buy any little dips or buy a retest continuation sort of trade. All right, I hope that's useful. If you've made any money this week, it's been quite a tricky week because of the central banks. Try and keep hold of it. Come back next week, refreshed, and enjoy your weekend. All right, speak to you next week.